commemorate the retelling of your story from 2,000 years ago, Father, for the greatest history of mankind, Father. And hopefully I can do the same by telling a little bit of a portion, just a portion of the story, Father, to commemorate the 2,000 years ago what you have done for us, Father. Help us, Father, to open our hearts to you, Father, and your word. Amen. Okay. Well, when Yeshua entered to his passion, that precious few hours, dozens of prophecy from the Old Testament was fulfilled. And today we'll look at just one. It's about bones, the breaking of the bones. As you guys all know that none of them was ever broke. And I will try from this what I have here. I'll teach from what I have here. Most of these stuff are authentic, and so that's why if you want to touch it later, I have a gloves here, and you want to see, and I have a magnifying glass here that you are welcome to use. So I want to start. See, I came here. I was in a hurry, and I forgot my Bible. So right away. Yeah. So, but when I said bone, so we'll look at like a little bit of history of why he called the dice broke the bone. So we'll get to that. We'll discuss that, and what we'll do also. We have this Mediterranean. This is a real, but it's not. It doesn't go back 2,000 years ago. Maybe like 15, but it's a real sponge. It's an animal. So what you see here is just a skin, yeah. It's an animal, and this is the bone actually. So when they dive, they pull out from the rocks, and so they make sure that it's dead before they'll use it. So we'll do that also. And then this will come in. Okay. And I want to read it says, upon entering his passion, fulfilled dozens of prophecy from the Old Testament. Passion is the story of Yeshua's arrest, trial, suffering, and with execution by crucifixion. The Passion is an episode in a long story and cannot be properly understood without the story of the resurrection. The word passion comes from the Latin word suffering. Okay. Can I get a show of hand that the story when Jesus was carrying the cross, where that person gave him a sponge dipped in vinegar. Who said that? Who would say that that person is a good guy or a bad guy for doing that? Is he a bad guy? A good guy? Anybody else say he's a good guy? Yeah. Okay, on Psalm 62, it says over here, it reads, Psalm 69, 21. They gave me also gall for my meat, and for my thirst, they gave me vinegar. In these pages, the Bible that's soon is teeming with stories full of intrigue, twists, great ironies, and some would even say that warts. This seemingly inconspicuous and inconsequential little sponge had a role in fulfilling one of the major prophecies that pertain to the office of the Messiah while hanging and nailed to a tree. Okay, see, I had my Bible, I had all my notes, but I'm working from a disadvantage to having it. And Okay, we will discuss gallbladder. Gallbladder is a, okay, brother, can you want a picture for gallbladder? Okay, gallbladder and okay, this is the gallbladder, and there's the tract right there, and this is the liver. The liver will secrete, will give up to this gallbladder. In the gallbladder, when you eat something, this thing will trigger this to start digesting your food. So that's what it is for, gallbladder. So in the Bible, in Greek, it's called chloe, like cholera. You heard of cholera? The thing, but when you drink contaminated water and you get sick, it's called cholera. So the gall in Greek is chole, like cholera. So that's a thing, because when they gave Jesus, when that person dumped the sponge into the wine, so it's already contaminated, because in Rome, brother, can you show the Roman toilet? So what we're talking about is what we have, the sponge was used as a toilet paper. So this is what they use. I mean, it's a luxury. Not all over the world use this as a toilet paper. Only in the Middle East where you have the ocean around. So this is just one product they use, and they also use this for lining the Roman helmet. So it does a cushion. So the metal does not. So what we have is so you get the picture like that. So that was a ancient Roman toilet paper. This is what they use, and as you can see here, this rendition is not accurate, because there's supposed to be an opening right here to once you do your business, you're supposed to be able to, if you show them, see this water streaming. Well, what they do when they use it is the sponge right there, they rinse it and they wait for the next guy to use it. So they use it, rinse it, and leave it there. Recycle. So that's what it is. So you can just imagine the person who had the sponge and dipping it into that wine. So you can just use the imagination how it fulfilled that prophecy. Okay, you see the water right here, right? See, this is the excavation from. See, there's supposed to be a hole right there for a stick to go in to clean yourself. And there's the water right here, the drainage. So you get the picture on that one. Yeah. So. Okay. Okay, that's that. So the person who offered. So the person that offered Jesus the gall and the vinegar is a bad guy. He wasn't trying to help him in. He just wanna compound the suffering already. But little did he know that he did fulfill the Old Testament scriptures. So with one fell swoop, that person did two things. He ate and then drinking and like I said, keep in mind that this is bones, because that's a skeleton of the living animal, but you just pluck out from the.
It's the marrow.
It's like the bone. Yeah, because you can see how stiff it is, and it's just living in there. I don't know exactly, but when I read on it, it's an animal, and then Okay.
Sorry, you were asking her, you asked whether the person that walked the ball and vinegar had sin?
Does he?
The person sin?
Does he sin? Well, he was, it's because Jesus said, Father, forgive them for they don't know what they're doing. So they are forgiven in that way. So does that? No, it's okay. All right. So we got an idea of what the bile is, right? The bile and the gallbladder. Okay, the bile is the one that processes the food. So when you're eating, the gall, secrete into the food. So that's why when you do your business, it becomes gall. So maybe perhaps that's what they use in the Bible. That's like gall mingled with vinegar. Okay. Now I have here okay. Now also, up in the cross, but when he was going through a suffering, they divided up his clothes. And when they come to the part of the tunic, which is one whole piece of garment, so it's no use to cut up the tunic among one person. So somebody came up and said that, why don't we throw dice for it? So they did. That's what they did. So your dice for today, what you have in Las Vegas, the dice, the regulation dice, would look like this. Of course, you all know it's made out of art. It's made out of acrylic, and it's all even all the way around. But dice never used to be like this, and it has a little bit of history. You all know that those who gambled prior to their life before. Have you heard the term roll the bone? Okay, that term roll the bone because it was a real bone. It was a real bone to begin with. And if you look at it, the Romans used what I have is a genuine 2,000 years old Roman dice. And if you want, I pass it around here if you want to look at it, and you can see. They just don't take them up from the packaging. So in keeping with the theme of the bones, so that's another. Yeah, let's still give it one. Okay.
Real bones.
The real bone is just
What real bones?
although okay, now you see it is like that, and if it's okay. Oh, okay, now that now Jesus was betrayed for 30 pieces of silver, and that's in Zechariah. I had it placed in my Bible. Well, it doesn't do any good now. But anyway, the 30 pieces of silver is, I have here, is a real authentic. This is a real authentic shekel of Tyre. This is the one that's approved to be for the temple, for that tithe, for yearly tithe. So it took 30 of these to betray Jesus. And in the Old Testament, it says that also a price for a slave. So I'll pass this around also. So this is the first time, I don't know, most of you will even see a shekel, a real genuine shekel of Tyre. And for authenticity, well, how about if I bought this from the guy who wrote the book on it? So I seek out the person that wrote David Hendon, the guide to biblical coins. Okay, this is already, this is the fourth edition. He came up with a fifth one already. I have that at home, but I just wanted to bring. So for the sake, you know, I wanted to have the genuine. I want to make sure that I get the real thing. So why not just go to the guy who wrote the book on it? So I pass around this shekel of Tyre, so you will get to see. Okay, so if you can. As you can see, you can see that's how it looks like.
Is that what Judas?
Yes, it does. This is what he received. This is what. If you can, that's what it looks like. Okay, that's a full shekel, and this is a half shekel. So they're just two different ones. The reason this coin was approved, because as you can see, that picture is Baal, and then you cannot get no more better person than Baal. It's there. The reason why it's approved is because the silver content kind of like supersede whatever image they have in there. So you kind of like scratch your head on that one. So, but that's because the silver content is superior to anything else that they have. So that's what they was using. That's it's called milk cart. So without the garment, there's no rolling of the bone, the dice. So you needed the garment. And what I have here is, you know, I don't have any garments from way back then. But what I do have is a period in time where they do spin the linen requires that you have cotton. So it's called okay. I have here. It's what you call a spindle swirl. This is how you make cotton. You know, from a ball of cotton when they swirl it into threads. So all this here is the period of 2,000 years. So I would think that, you know, this thing made a few threads that clothe those person, maybe perhaps in the Bible, but I would never go to think that this is the one that, the thread that made Jesus, I would not go there. But I would say that maybe perhaps with this amount of spindle swirl, I would think that hey, maybe perhaps, you know, he clothed one of those people in there. So without the tunic, you can, you know, without the tunic that he was wearing, he wouldn't be gambling for that tunic, and that what made so that's what. But I will not go there and say that kind of like, well, one of the one that made the tunic, but maybe perhaps somebody else, maybe one of the apostles. Okay, so that's in keeping with the theme of the bone. But now, so what did they do with the 30 when Judas came back and cast those the 30 pieces of silver back to the temple to the. So okay, they took it and they bought the field of, it's called Akil Dama, and Akil Dama is what were the very strangers, correct? And I read something here about Akil Dama. The earth in this area is composed of a rich clay and was formerly used by potters. So when they bought it, it was no longer in use. So it was available. This reason the field was known as the potter's field. The clay had a strong red color, which may be origin of the modern name that we have now. It continued to be used as a burial place for non-Jews up to the first quarter of the 19th century. Okay, now I also have here